The transfer window is getting closer and closer, and the club are going to be very busy. The boys are expected to have a big shake-up, with a lot of dead rubber players leaving and a few big names going to the club. In today's video, we will discuss the player that Celtic and Rangers are set to battle for, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Brendan Rodgers has hinted that James Forrest may not be handed a starting role against St Mirren at Celtic Park tomorrow, despite the winger's standout performance at Pittodrie midweek. Forrest, who was named man of the match in Celtic's sensational 5-1 win over Aberdeen, is still searching for his first goal of the campaign. Remarkably, he has scored in every one of the previous 15 seasons in the Hoops, a run that highlights both his consistency and longevity. With just 2 games left this season, there is a growing sense of anticipation among supporters keen to see the 33-year-old maintain that scoring streak. However, when asked directly whether Forrest should play this weekend to give him the chance to find the net, Rodgers initially laughed off the suggestion. During a light-hearted exchange with a reporter, he was told, "I know I'm being sentimental, but surely James Forrest has to play this weekend and give him that chance to get that goal." When pushed again, Rodgers replied no, after previously asking the reporter himself, "Should he play the weekend, do you think?" To which the journalist replied, "I think so. I'm saying I'm sentimental. Give him that chance." Rodgers' response was telling. "I'm not," he said with a smile. "He doesn't have to score. It would be great if he does. He's definitely trying. He's getting to some great areas, and it was unfortunate in the first half against Aberdeen when he chopped inside with his left foot, but his performance level is really, really high. If it comes, great. If it doesn't, he's still performing and contributing for the team." The 5-1 win over Aberdeen was one of Celtic's most complete performances of the season, with Forrest at the heart of the Hoops' constant attacking threat. Despite not finding the net, he tormented the Dons' defence and showed all the qualities that have made him a Hoops stalwart over the past decade and a half. Whether he gets the nod tomorrow remains to be seen, but Forrest's impact has not gone unnoticed. As Rodgers pointed out, goal or no goal, the winger continues to contribute brilliantly when called upon. With St Mirren coming to Celtic Park, the opportunity is there for Forrest to continue his strong run of form, if he makes the starting 11. One thing is certain, should he score, the noise inside the stadium will speak volumes about how much it means to him and the Celtic support. Now for the main story. Celtic and Rangers are in a strong position to sign Peterborough United winger Kwame Poku. The Ghana international has been in great form this season, scoring 12 goals and getting 8 assists in just 27 League One games. His performances have caught the attention of a number of clubs, and now it looks like a bidding war is set to begin to sign him. Birmingham City are one of the clubs trying to bring Poku in. They are reportedly ready to offer him a contract worth £30,000 per week, according to Football League World, which would be a big step up for the 23-year-old. But there is a big worry at Birmingham that they could lose out to either Celtic or Rangers. Peterborough's director of football, Barry Fry, said, "Celtic and Rangers have been to most of our games this season. That shows how serious the Hoops' interest in the winger is. They've clearly been watching him closely and might now be ready to make their move." As the summer transfer window gets closer, this story is one to watch. Poku is clearly a player with a lot of talent, and the next step in his career could be a big one. Celtic are in a good position and may act soon to bring him to Glasgow. Birmingham might still try to sign Poku, but they know it will be very difficult. Celtic can offer him more money and the chance to play in European football. That gives the Hoops a big edge, and it's hard for a club like Birmingham to match that. In other news, Lennon Miller looks to have played his final match at Fir Park for Motherwell after receiving a standing ovation in midweek. With manager Michael Wimmer admitting the 18-year-old's departure appears imminent, the teenage midfielder, long linked with a move to Celtic, has been a standout for the Steelmen, but speculation is growing that a summer move could be on the cards. Despite reported interest from Celtic, the Herald's senior sports writer Graham McGarry has advised Miller against a move to the Hoops, raising concerns over the challenges young Scottish players face in breaking through at the club. McGarry points to the career of David Turnbull, another former Motherwell player, who initially impressed at Celtic before seeing his development stall. While calling Turnbull a success in a Celtic jersey due to his transfer fee, McGarry warned that his stagnation and failure to so far reach the level we all thought possible can arguably be traced back to his troubles towards the end of his Celtic career. The broader issue, he argues, is opportunity. Despite Celtic clinching the title early and rotating the squad ahead of the Scottish Cup final, academy graduate Sean McArdle was only handed his debut in the 85th minute against Hibs and saw limited minutes again against Aberdeen. With Miller's progress at Motherwell highlighted by regular starts and the trust of Brendan Rodgers, a move to Celtic could present a serious risk of stalling his development. The presence of Paulo Bernardo and Luke McCowan and likely additions in midfield would add to the competition for places, even with Rio Hatate potentially departing in the summer. Miller has played with real maturity in midfield, but McGarry thinks it's not the right time for him to risk being left on the sidelines. McGarry said, "He can't afford to be sitting kicking his heels on a substitute's bench," McGarry stated, noting that consistent game time has been crucial to the player's rise. There are good reasons why a move to Celtic could work well for Miller. Brendan Rodgers has a strong record of helping improve young players. He gave chances to youngsters during his first spell at Celtic and has done the same at other clubs. If Miller shows the right attitude and keeps working hard, Rodgers could help take his game to the next level. Celtic also have a solid group of Scottish players who know what it takes to succeed at the club. Callum McGregor, James Forrest, Anthony Ralston and Greg Taylor have all played big roles in recent years. Being around experienced players like them could help Miller settle quickly and learn what it means to play for Celtic. If he fits in well and earns Rodgers' trust, there's every chance he could grow into an important player for the Hoops. Joining Celtic would be a big move and bring more money, but it's still unclear if it would help Miller grow as a player. For now, people are waiting to see where he decides to go next. Lastly, Charlie Mulgrew has praised Brendan Rodgers for the way he rotates his Celtic squad after the Hoops beat Aberdeen 5-1 at Pittodrie despite making 9 changes to the starting 11. Rodgers rested several regular starters but still saw his side dominate the match, showing just how strong and focused the whole squad is. Mulgrew pointed out how Rodgers dropped Nicholas Kuhn recently, even though he had been one of Celtic's best players this season. Instead, James Forrest came in and took his chance, showing that nobody's place is guaranteed. Celtic are just relentless, aren't they? That's what I mean about Brendan Rodgers. We might look at it as a second-string team, but those players know there's a chance of getting into that cup final team. There's a chance of making the squad for the final day of the season because of the way he manages. I mean, he left Kuhn out for 2 games, and this is a guy who was arguably one of the best players of the season. He had a bad patch, but Brendan wasn't afraid to drop him. Other managers might have stuck with him, but he brought someone else in instead. It was James Forrest. He plays for a couple of games. Everybody knows when they step in, even the young lads, there's a chance. It might not mean starting in the cup final, but it could be. If it's between, say, Yang and Kuhn, they both know that. Yang knows that if he plays well for 60 minutes, he could come on as a sub and impact the final. That shows a good manager. He's got everybody fighting for the same thing, Mulgrew concluded. Forrest is one of Celtic's most experienced players and has come back into the team when needed. His return is just one example of how Rodgers keeps his squad fresh. The same goes for Yang Hyun-jun, who's had more game time recently. Rodgers has rotated his front players often this season. It keeps competition high and players stay motivated. Kuhn was left out, worked hard and came back strong. It's the kind of response Rodgers wants from his squad. The win over Aberdeen also showed how deep the squad is. Even with 9 changes, the team looked like they had been playing together every week. That's not easy to do, and it shows the standards Rodgers sets every day in training. With just a few games left, Rodgers' smart squad rotation could make the difference. He's getting big performances from players who've not played every week, and it's giving Celtic a big edge as they chase more silverware in the Scottish Cup final. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.